Buddy, today we're reacting to Thomas and Friends, A Real Friend. I'm sorry, guys, that my video is late tonight. I have been busy with work. I am off school for a while because it's spring break, and I got a PS5, so I've been trying some new games on that. And I had work today, so anyways, let's get started.
One day, two new students arrived at school to attend classes there. The principal had asked Gemma to show them around. They were called Sonia and Sally.
Aww.
They were very popular amongst the other school kids, but they kept an eye on Gemma.
Why Gemma?
Gemma, they called. Could you do our homework for us? Well,
What?
Bye, Gemma. Well, we're going to be busy with other things tonight when we get home and won't have time for homework. Please be a friend, please, they asked sweetly.
Please say no.
All right.
No!
Gemma.
Oh, I can already tell these girls are popular kids. They're like, oh, we're going to do our own thing, and we know we're going to fail. We know we're going to fail. So let's just ask her to do it because she is a smart one, and we'll pass with her, no problem. This is so...
Thanks, Gemma. You're a pal, they replied.
No, they're not.
Sonia and Sally had done that for days and days. But because of that, Gemma had no time to finish hers, and she began to fall behind her studies. What's the matter, Gemma? Asked one of her friends during recess. Usually you're very good in class. Why are you slumping? Before she could reply, Sonia and Sally came up to her again. Gemma, can you please do our homework tonight? They asked. Why are you asking her? Replied Gemma's friend. Why don't you do it? But the two girls ignored her and asked Gemma if she could do their homework for them. Gemma agreed, and the two girls walked happily away. But her friend wasn't so pleased. Why did you agree to do their homework? This is why you're falling behind, Gemma. Well, they are friends of mine, Becky. I'm happy to do theirs as well as mine, replied Gemma. I've been your friend longer than they have been, and I never take advantage of you when it comes to my homework. You're too shy to say no, Gemma. You have to get over that and tell them no for once. Otherwise, I don't want to be friends with someone who couldn't stand up towards anybody. Gemma knew that she was right, but no matter how many times she tried to say no, she couldn't help herself and reluctantly agreed to do Sonia and Sally's homework. Becky was cross. Gemma, she said crossly, if Sonia and Sally told you to jump out of a train, would you do it? Gemma looked at Becky and sighed. Well, no. Then why is it so hard for you to say no to them about doing their homework? I'm just being a friend, Becky. A friend doesn't, but before she could finish, Gemma then said, I know what you're going to say. A friend shouldn't take advantage of another's. I'm tired of your lectures, Becky. I was just helping them. And she stormed away, leaving Becky behind feeling sad and cross. The two girls...
Look, if someone asks you to do their homework for you, you say no. I mean, I'm in college, and yeah, there are times I have to ask my mom for help sometimes, but I'm not going to ask her to do the work for me. Like, no, it's my homework. I need to do it.
Hadn't spoken to each other for a few days, and Gemma continued doing homework for Sonia and Sally. However, her teachers were worried that she was slipping behind her class, and with that, her parents became concerned too.
Of course.
Gemma, is there something the matter at school? Asked her mother as she was attending to her garden. No, Mum, everything's fine, she said. The end of the school term had finally arrived, and all the children...
I'm sorry, can I just say I love her Pokemon backpack? It's so cute.
...were looking forward to their break. Gemma was waiting at the station with Sonia and Sally, and they were chatting excitedly about what they were going to do during the summer holidays.
I'm sorry, I know I have to pause this again, but that's a Thomas and Friends Magic of the Railroad poster in the background!
I think my parents will take me and my little brother to that new movie that Thomas is starring in, replied Gemma. It's not really my thing, but my little brother is interested in it. Oh, that's nice, replied Sonia. Sonia and Sally were glad to have the summer off. But it wouldn't be as much fun as telling Gemma what to do. And they decided to have some fun one more time before they go their separate ways for the summer.
What are they going to tell her to do?
Later, Thomas puffed into the station with Annie and Clarabelle. All the students boarded the train. As Gemma found her seat, the two girls decided to put their plan into action.
Oh, no.
Hey, Gemma, we dare to put your head out of the window and stick your tongue out towards the porter, they said. Gemma was surprised that they were asking her to do such a thing. Why? She stammered. Come on, it's a dare, they said slyly. You can't back down from a dare, you know. Gemma was nervous.
Say no,
she then
say
remembered
no.
what Becky had said to her once about being in this situation. Come on, we're your friends. You can't back down from a dare from your friends. Gemma then managed to pluck up courage and then said, No. What was that? Asked the two girls crossly. I said no, you two. Honestly, I thought you two were my friends, but lately you've been taking advantage of me from my studies, and I was falling behind this term. Becky was right, you two aren't true friends. So, you're nothing but a coward. You're soft, and we know that because you did our homework, because you have the brains, and that will leave us to do our own thing. You can't back down from a dare. Meanwhile, the guard was about to blow
What's about
his
to
whistle
happen?
when
What?
Gemma
What
out of
the?
the train, while Sally and Sonia raced away with their bags out of the station. Thomas was shocked
Is
as
she
the guard
okay?
station master ran up towards her, picked her up, and sat her on an empty luggage trolley. Poor Gemma looked dazed and surprised and was deeply
poor
upset.
Gemma.
Becky jumped out of Annie and rushed to her friend. Don't worry, young miss, replied the station master. The porter had called for policeman Len and he'll be here soon. But poor Gemma was so upset by what had just happened, as well as being used by Sonia and Sally during the term. Policeman Len soon came to the station. Good afternoon, Miss Gemma. I'm Policeman Len. Could you please answer a few questions about what's just happened? Gemma was a
freaked
little bit
out.
hesitant at first, but then Policeman Len smiled and said, You don't have to worry, Gemma. I just want to know what happened so I can make a report. Gemma soon calmed down and said, 2 girls had pushed me off of Thomas's train. It was a dare. They told me to stick my tongue out towards the porter. I said no because they were taking advantage of me despite being friends. You were right, Gemma, to not want to do such a silly thing, and you were very brave to say no and stick up towards them. Your so-called friends shouldn't do a dangerous thing like that on Thomas's or anyone else's train, and we must try and stop them. Can you give me their names? Thomas and Becky agreed with what Policeman Len had just said, but when he asked for their names, Gemma started to shiver and began to worry. But, what if they... She stammered. Don't worry. They need never know how I found out, said Policeman Len. And you won't be seeing them for a few weeks as well, Gemma, replied Thomas. Just be brave, Gemma, and know that your true friends are behind you, replied Becky. Gemma smiled and...
Can I just say, I think it's sweet that Thomas tried to help cheer her up after what had happened. Like, that's just so sweet. And especially your friend Becky. Like, I figured after that argument, they would stop talking to each other. It's just so nice to see them getting along again.
told Policeman Len their names. Thank you. I'll be having a word with their parents tonight.
Oh.
Thank you, Gemma.
Do we find out what
Have a
happens?
lovely summer break. And Policeman Len walked away to his car, and Gemma and Becky boarded the train, and Thomas steamed away.
Tell me, do we find out what happens to the girls? Is that
As for Sonia and Sally,
nope.
the two had managed to hide after their trick and took a different train back home.
Of course they did.
But when they returned, they saw their parents with Policeman Len, and they weren't pleased with what they were told. Girls, replied the father crossly, you shouldn't have done something like that. What if Thomas had moved and Gemma fell down on the line? She would be seriously hurt or even killed. The two girls felt ashamed, and the school told us that someone noticed you two taking advantage of Gemma by using her to do your homework. We didn't pay for your education just so you could flounce off school, and with that, you'll be attending summer school. The two girls were cross, but they knew they deserved it.
You got what you deserved.
When school returned for another year, Gemma managed to catch up and began to excel in her
Good.
studies again. Her and Becky had made amends over the summer, and Sonia and Sally had never taken advantage of her again.
Good. Let them know. Like, whether it's elementary school, junior high, high school, or college, if someone's asking you to do their homework for them, just say no. Like, honestly, this shows us that there are friends who can take advantage of us, and I've been in that situation where I've been taken advantage of. I've been taken advantage of through social media because people would just want to use me to gain followers. And that is something that I am not proud of. And when I found out I was taken advantage of, I was upset. Like Gemma here, I didn't seem to have an issue with it. And Yeah, like, so if anybody asks you to help them with something, whether it be a live stream or homework or whatever, if you feel like you're being taken advantage of, just say no. That's all you have to do. If you lose them as a friend, so what? Honestly, I've lost a lot of friends because of certain situations. So, yeah, don't be ashamed to say no. To say no if you feel like you're being taken advantage of. Thank you for watching, guys. This is KBear101 signing out. Adios, everybody.